Could a seller choose not to offer a buyer agency commission? The short answer, yes. But is that a wise decision? Not always, and here's why. As a seller, you have all the rights to decide what you want to offer. You have no requirement to put out a buyer agency commission. However, that decision can directly impact how marketable your property is. Remember, real estate is about supply, demand, and visibility. If you limit incentives for a buyer agent to bring their client through your door, you may be unintentionally shrinking your buyer pool. Now, some sellers may think if I cut out the buyer agency commission, I'll save money, but in reality, it can have the exact opposite effect. Fewer buyers will see the home, fewer offers will come in, and at the end, you might net less than what you otherwise would have if you would have offered the commission up front. Because let's face it, if an agent knows they're not getting paid, are they really motivated to push that property versus the one down the street that is paying? It's sad but true. I've seen this many times over the years. I've especially seen this with newer agents that don't really know how to articulate their worth to their clients. Instead of having the tough conversation about the buyer having to pay out of pocket, they simply steer the client towards another property that makes this conversation unnecessary. The results? Your property actually gets less exposure. Now, I know this isn't typical, but this does happen in the market, and agents are not supposed to steer. However, when it comes to their pocket, some agents, unfortunately, do. Now, with the recent NAR settlement, a lot of headlines make it seem like real estate was turned upside down, but in reality, not much has really changed. The two biggest differences are commissions are no longer advertised in our MLS or the multi-listing service, and this is basically the real estate agent system that showcases back-end information about the listing, which used to involve how much the agent was getting paid for selling that property. And the other one is that contracts have to include clearer language that commissions are negotiable. And not only are they negotiable, but everybody has to disclose what the commissions are to all the parties involved when the offer is made. This keeps everything above board, and now buyers and sellers have full transparency. But the truth is, commissions have always been negotiable. That's not new. What really drove the lawsuit is a few bad apples in the industry that weren't as transparent as they should have been when writing their contracts. The majority of agents already handled things this way. Let's be honest, it's the lawyers that walked away with the biggest prize from this lawsuit, not really the consumer. So can a seller choose not to offer a buyer agency commission? Absolutely. But should they? Probably not. Because while you think you're saving money, the reduced exposure, weaker competition, and lack of buyer interest may cost you more in the long run. The smartest move is to understand your options, make sure things are disclosed properly, and lean on a trusted professional, just saying, to help you net the most money. Anyway, if you thought this topic was helpful, like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let me know whether or not you think it's right to pay a buyer agency commission, and I'll see you all in the next video.